Thank you, Steve Scrovan. What a joy to be here at Occupy Omni and to be here with Joan and Ralph and Sid and Alan, the seminal sparks of Public Citizen and America's public interest movement, and an extra treat for me to be here with our pal Donna Edwards. Ken Hubbard is kind of a pre-Will Rogers turn of the last century. He said every now and then an innocent person gets sent to the legislature. That's what I think with Donna Edwards, who is sponsoring our legislation to repeal Citizens United and take power back for the people. But an extra special treat for me to be with the most eloquent, most insistent, most populist voice and most intellectual voice in America, my fellow Texan Bill Moyers out of Marshall, Texas. Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." And I don't think you can get more yourself than Bill Moyers has done over the years. Well, it makes me happier than a mosquito at a nudist colony to be standing up here looking out at all of this proud crowd of public citizens. I come to you not merely from Austin, Texas, but from South Austin, Texas. There's actually a attitudinal difference there, because in South Austin, our unofficial slogan is, "We're all here because we're not all there." And I think we're all here tonight for the same reason that thousands of occupiers, those fabulous 99%ers, have taken to the streets all across America. We owe them a debt of gratitude. What we're talking about here is to advance people power over corporate power, to advance democracy over kleptocracy. Lori Wallach was just on the video there in Seattle. Susan DeMarco and I were there with our radio show in Seattle. I was recently in Madison, Wisconsin. All I'm saying to you here is that the Occupy movement is not unprecedented. It has been building for a long, long time. I was in Madison, Wisconsin back in March when 100 and how many ever thousand people were out there, 20-degree weather, and I was speaking. Over here was a lady with a sign, a handmade sign. She said, "You screw us, we reproduce." That's our attitude. Right there. Well, that's what Public Citizen has been doing for 40 years. And that is why I am proud to be hooked up with this outfit. This is the only board of directors that I serve on. And I do this one merely because it is a very effective people's lobbyist, people's lawyer, people's voice, and all those polite, civic-y kind of things. But mainly I do it because Public Citizen is staffed with Rob Weissman and Lori and Tyson and Allison and right on down the line with unabashed butt kickers. People who go right at the bankers and the bosses, the big shots, the bastards and the bullshitters who are running roughshod over America's workaday people. I grew up in a little town of Denison, Texas. I was a small guy in a small town, and boys got in fights back then, and I learned early on, you should never hit a man with glasses. You should hit him with something much heavier. And Public Citizen gets that. Yes, it lobbies, it sues, it exposes, but it also hits the man with people power, rallying ordinary folks from coast to coast to take action and win. That's the important thing about this organization. It succeeds. It takes on the bastards and it wins. We need this more than ever. We are living in bizarre times, are we not? A time of tinkle-down economics, pushed with a vengeance by corporate greed heads, billionaire coke heads, right-wing boneheads. We got a gaggle of these bull-goose, goofy governors out there in Wisconsin, in Ohio, in Florida, New Jersey, Michigan, Maine, Arizona, And, of course, my state of Texas. You know. I mean, Rick Perry puts the goober in gubernatorial every single day in our state. You know, they say the higher the monkey climbs, the more you're going to see of its ugly side, and that's what's happening to Rick Perry, I think, right now. But we're not here to talk about that, are we? And we got a bunch of these tea-gulping GOP Congress critters up here on Capitol Hill who are as confused as goats on AstroTurf when it comes to understanding what America needs, what we're supposed to be doing in this country. And let's admit it, we have too many corporate Democrats who are weaker than Canadian hot sauce when it comes to standing up for what we represent. This is why public citizen is so essential. It doesn't just work that inside game. It organizes, mobilizes, connects grassroots folks for them to be able to have a direct impact on those bastards. I think of them in terms of a little hardware store near my home in Austin. It's not the size of a third of this room. It's not one of those big box things, but it's a great place. Harold's Hardware, it's called. And you can go to Harold's, and you don't have to buy the whole box of nails. They'll sell you 2 nails if that's what you need, you know. And they'll say, well, what are you trying to do? Well, I'm going to make a lectern like this. And they say, well, let's pencil it out and see what you need. And at Harold's, they will loan you a tool. You can take a tool home and bring it back. And the slogan at Harold's Hardware is, together, we can do it yourself. Now, that's got to be our slogan, doesn't it? We can't do it ourselves. But combining together in groups like Public Citizen, we can do it. We can make that difference. My old Aunt Eula, who was a farmer up in northeast Texas, used to say to me, I didn't understand at the time, she said, Jim, the water won't ever clear up till we get the hogs out of the creek. Now we're finding out how many people have been in the rural areas of America right here tonight. But that's our problem, isn't it? The hogs are in the creek. And they're fouling our economic and our environmental and our political waters. But you don't get a hog out of the creek by saying, here, hog, pretty please. You get a hog out of the creek by putting your shoulders to them and shoving them out of the creek. That's what Public Citizen does. Thank you for supporting Public Citizen. All of you, keep pushing. We're winning. We're going to take it over.